Hi, welcome back to In Your Defense. I'm attorney Steve Toland. I'm very excited as today we're going to begin a series about marijuana laws in Texas, which are surprisingly confusing, particularly in light of the fact that there's THC oil and THC infused products out there, and a lot of us get confused about what's legal, what's illegal, what's a misdemeanor, what's a felony. You know, the greatest story that highlights the new change in Texas law that came about in 2019, this law that made hemp legal but still maintains the position that marijuana is illegal, is a case out of Amarillo, Texas. In December 2019, an individual was driving a U-Haul truck from California to New York, and he had a certified lab certificate with him, and in the back of his U-Haul was an incredible 3,300 pounds of hemp. A green leafy substance that smells just like and looks just like and feels just like marijuana. DPS trooper did not believe him and did not find that lab certificate believable. He was arrested and federal drug charges were brought upon him. He stayed in jail over 35 days just about. All of his stuff was confiscated. He spent Christmas in jail. Eventually a lab and a savvy criminal defense lawyer were able to vindicate him, and it supported what the lab slip had shown, which was that that product in the back of his U-Haul was 0.03% or lower of THC, so it made it hemp, which is now legal in Texas. So there's a lot of misconceptions out there, and I think that case is going to be just the tip of the iceberg of what we're going to see here. So let's jump in. 3 misconceptions about marijuana laws in Texas just from the beginning. The first one is that we're not aware of the difference between hemp and marijuana. Marijuana is still illegal. Texas defines it as just that green leafy substance in and of itself. Hemp, however, is just like marijuana, but it has a THC component of 0.03% or lower. THC is Tetrahydrocannabinol, and we call it for short THC. That's the psychoactive component that gets a person high. And so Texas legislature, in its infinite wisdom, said, hey, hemp has such a low amount of that psychoactive component that gets you high, we're going to make that legal. Marijuana is still illegal. So you have to know the difference. A second misconception is just the massive penalty range. A lot of people are unaware that marijuana is still penalized the same based on its weight. 4 ounces or less is still a misdemeanor. We'll talk more about this later. Anything above that, up to 5 pounds, is a felony. But THC oil is very different. Even a thimble amount, the smallest amount, a gummy bear size amount of THC oil is a felony. Massive amount of difference. We're going to dive into those details in later episodes of In Your Defense. And the third misconception about marijuana laws in Texas is just that jurisdictions in Texas are really handling them still very differently. In some places, marijuana is not heavily criminalized. Sometimes it's a ticketable offense, not arrestable anymore. And then in other jurisdictions in Texas, it's handled just as seriously as it always has been. Same with vape pens, gummy bears, things like that. So it's confusing. I understand. We're going to talk more about that as we begin to unfold THC oil infused products and gummies and those kinds of things in marijuana over the next couple episodes. As always, if you have any questions about drugs at all, quantities, amounts, marijuana charges, reach out to me, attorney Steve Toland, or us here at Pekin Toland. We're always glad to help.